House Bill 837. We don't support it. Most regular folks that I know, and I'm talking Democrats, Republicans, Independents, are all very much against this. What we know is right now the insurance company or the insurance industry pays Ron Desantis, that's the governor here in Florida, a boatload of money. And he needs to keep that cash flow coming because he's trying to run for president. So he needs all that insurance money. If the insurance companies don't have to pay out, well, that's a huge windfall for them, because this is definitely, if it passes, it's going to hurt not just bikers, but Floridians in general. That means this also relates to home insurance, renter's insurance, vehicle insurance, commercial insurance. It's bad.
Number one on change.org. It's a website that you can create petitions on. We have created 2 petitions. One is in support of House Bill 709, which is funding for ABATE. The money comes from the registration of motorcycles only. It doesn't hurt anybody, and ABATE needs this money to move forward and do all the good things that they do. And I hate to put it in this terminology, but it just pissed me off, is they went into a big dissertation complaining about attorneys that represent us, like Fran Hash and a bunch of others. Stacey Kemp was there, Keith LaJory, a lot of attorneys, and they went into how bad these attorneys are and how they advertise. You know what? You take a job and wait 3 years to get paid like they do. The attorneys are funding these cases out of their pockets, not only so that they can make a paycheck, but to help people, because who else would be willing to do that? And they just, demonized attorneys, which is wrong, because some of these attorneys, like Fran Hash, she is a wonderful lady who cares from her heart.
Based on what we was talking about dealing with that bill. So basically what you're saying is that, okay, if I'm in a car wreck, somebody hit me, I'm in a car wreck, and their insurance is only going to pay for, $20,000. Their insurance paid at $20,000, and let's say that my bills total $100,000.
Right.
So I'm responsible for the other $75,000.
Yep. Oh, want to hear something really crazy? And if you don't pay it, if you incur those bills, there's a provision in there that says, well, your driver's license can be suspended because you didn't meet your fiduciary responsibility. So I don't know about, I know with us, we ain't running around with extra $100,000 that we can just kick out in case. But basically, and it was made perfectly clear that these politicians that we're talking about are either completely out of touch with regular folks, or, which was made very clear, or they just don't give a fuck. There was literally right hand of Jesus. Anybody that was there saw it. There was a fella that came in there with no hands.
Tampa Bay area are investigating a disturbing case of road rage in which a man drives a car over a motorcycle, injuring 2 bikers. That's 1.5 tons of automobile crunching up and over a motorcycle in the middle of Highway 41 near Tampa. The 2 riders barely escaped its path.
One of the provisions, one of the features of this HB 837 is that your suit, if you intend on filing suit, it has to be done. Like, you got to have your stuff wrapped up in 24 months, because if not, it's thrown out. Well, what does that mean in real life? What that means is, if in the case of this fella, which he's still having he's had multiple surgeries and has all kinds of complications due to his condition now. Well, it's going to take more than 2 years for the doctors to figure out what sort of treatment he's going to need in the future. So the problem is that if he can't have this under this HB 837, if he can't have everything on the table within 2 years and have that process already started, well, he missed his deadline and it goes out the window. In a lot of cases, especially where there's catastrophic injuries and loss, it takes more than 24 months to figure this out, as far as doctors are concerned, as far as attorneys even drafting an argument for some of this stuff. There's witnesses that show up a year later, or any number of things, but there's that. They don't want you to be able to have an attorney because they claim that attorneys are just going to drive the cost of everything up. No, attorneys let people not get fucked over by slick talking insurance people, because the insurance companies, their job is to not pay, and they're really good at not paying. A lot of folks don't get that happens every day, where insurance companies screw people over and get away with it. They can afford to keep you tied up in court all day long, unless when it comes to that paperwork, one of the things that came up, if you don't have an attorney, you're still allowed to pursue legal action, but you've got to do all the everything yourself. Without an attorney, nobody knows what those 75 pages of paperwork actually mean. And if you make one mistake, guess what? Everything's thrown out. Oh yeah.
It gets thrown out, or they use a loophole that you don't understand because but you don't have an attorney. Now here's my thing though. Now I'm in a wreck. I ain't tell this fucker to hit me.
Right.
So why is it that I'm held responsible? Number one. Number two, with the person you was talking about that lost both hands. You know, you can't just use whatever that person's insurance was, whether it was 25,000, 50,000 or whatever. That man has a permanent injury that he is never going to be able to work again. You know, he lost both hands.